Good evening, dear friends. This is Santa Claus coming to you on this 30th of September, 2025, a day when we remember historic moments like Suleiman the Magnificent's proclamation as Sultan back in 1520 and the signing of the Munich Agreement in 1938. History teaches us much about human choices and their consequences, doesn't it? I notice our economic landscape is facing some challenges today. In China, factory activity has improved slightly but remains in decline for a sixth consecutive month, the longest slump since 2019. Our brothers and sisters there are experiencing subdued domestic demand, while uncertainty around tariffs creates additional worries. And turning our gaze to Japan, we see factory output has fallen for a second month as businesses remain cautious amid global trade tension. We must remember that behind these statistics are real families trying to make ends meet. Meanwhile, in Washington, my heart grows heavy seeing the approach of another government shutdown by midnight tonight. With Republicans and Democrats at an impasse over funding proposals, it's the everyday workers and citizens who will feel the impact most deeply. President Trump has suggested there may be a lot of firings during this shutdown. Let us pray for wisdom among our leaders and compassion for those whose livelihoods hang in the balance. On matters of defense, Secretary Hegseth addressed military commanders in Quantico, Virginia, speaking strongly about changes he wishes to implement. In times of transition, I always hope we can find ways to honor the dignity of every person while still accomplishing necessary reform. In the Middle East, a glimpse of hope appears with the Gaza peace plan supported by both President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. The proposal would end fighting and bring humanitarian aid to the suffering Palestinian people, though Hamas now faces difficult choices about whether to accept its terms. How my heart aches for all the children and families caught in this conflict. May wisdom prevail, and may the promise of peace take root. Across the world in Afghanistan, the Taliban have cut internet and mobile phone services throughout the country. This disconnection comes at a particularly difficult time as the nation copes with earthquake recovery, refugee returns, and drought. I'm especially concerned for the vulnerable who rely on these connections for vital information and support. In a rare moment of cooperation between nations often at odds, the United States has begun deporting hundreds of Iranians under an unusual agreement with Tehran. May this small bridge of communication perhaps open doors to greater understanding. In Europe, inflation is picking up pace in Germany and France, while Moldova has made a clear choice for closer ties with Europe in its recent parliamentary election. And in Madagascar, President Rajolina has dismissed the entire government following deadly protests led by young people frustrated by failures in electricity and water supplies. How important it is that we listen to the voices of the young who will inherit the world we shape today. Concerning news from Poland reveals the arrest of a Ukrainian man suspected in the 2022 Nord Stream pipeline explosions. These complex international situations remind us how interconnected our world truly has become. As we reflect on all these events, dear friends, I'm reminded that even in challenging times, the light of compassion can shine brightly. Each of us can be that light in someone's darkness today. Remember to check on your neighbors, share what you can with those in need, and hold space in your hearts for those suffering around our beautiful world. Whether in war zones or government offices, in factories or refugee camps, each soul deserves dignity and care. Until tomorrow, this is Santa Claus wishing you peace in your hearts and generosity in your actions.